Every great empire ends. Rome fell. The Mongols fell. The Ottoman Empire fell. The British Empire fell. But there is something uniquely painful about the way the Oyo Empire ended. Because it did not fall to a foreign invader. It did not fall to a disease or a natural disaster. It fell because of itself. Welcome back to Osigclip. This is part 4. The final chapter of the Oyo Empire. By the late 18th century the Oyo Empire was beginning to crack. The slave trade that had funded its power for generations was also corrupting it from within. The wealth it generated created inequality. The wars it required created enemies. The guns it imported from Europeans were slowly shifting the balance of power away from cavalry, Oyo's greatest advantage, toward firearms. And then came a man named Afonja. Afonja was the Aronika Konfo, the supreme military commander of the Oyo Empire. One of the most powerful men in the kingdom. And he was ambitious. In 1817 Afonja rebelled against the Alaafin. To strengthen his position he invited a Fulani Islamic cleric named Alimi and his followers to settle in Ilorin, a key city in the north of the empire. He thought he could use them as allies. He was wrong. Within years the Fulani forces had taken control of Ilorin completely. Afonja himself was killed by the very people he had invited in. Ilorin, once a proud Yoruba city at the heart of the Oyo Empire, became the base of a Fulani jihad that began tearing the empire apart from the north. At the same time the Dahomey kingdom, which had been a subject state of Oyo for over a century, saw its opportunity and broke free. Other tributary kingdoms followed. The empire that had collected tribute from dozens of kingdoms for 200 years suddenly found itself unable to hold anyone. The capital Old Oyo was abandoned around 1835. The people fled south. The magnificent city, the palaces, the markets, the walls that had stood for centuries was left to the forest. Today Old Oyo is a national park in Oyo State, Nigeria. You can visit the ruins. You can walk the ground where tens of thousands of cavalry warriors once trained. You can stand where the Alaafin once sat on his throne. But the story did not end in 1835. The Yoruba people regrouped. They founded new cities. Ibadan rose as a new military power. Abeokuta was founded by Egba refugees. The Yoruba fought back against the Fulani jihad for decades. And the culture, the language, the religion, the art, the music survived everything. Today there are over 40 million Yoruba people on earth. Their culture has spread across Nigeria, West Africa, and the entire diaspora. Yoruba religion in its various forms is practiced by millions of people in Brazil, Cuba, Trinidad, the United States and beyond. The empire fell. But the people did not. That is the Oyo Empire. 4 days, one story. One of the most powerful, most complex and most extraordinary civilizations Nigeria has ever produced. If these videos taught you something your school never did, subscribe to Osigclip. Share this series with someone who needs to know this history. We have 3,000 tribes still to cover. Drop a comment below which African tribe or empire do you want us to cover next. I will see you in the next series. This is Osigclip. And we are just getting started.